You know, I mean, all the things I need. Because I'm not where we were like, who's that? Exactly. And so were asking me why I hadn't had children and had I thought about it. And Carol Burnett, Lucille Ball, Diane Keaton. I mean, come on. They're like, when I do this, there's wrinkles.
Hey y'all, I am headed to a coffee shop. It's Friday. It is gray. It's been raining since last night in Atlanta, and I just don't feel like working at home today. I'm not being very productive, and I want to be productive enough to get work done and enjoy my Friday, because I do have plans for the evening. And so I'm going to a coffee shop. There's something I really need to work on with work. It's a project. It's figuring out basically the next year and a half. Strategy is a real part of my job as a fundraising executive. Well, I do more than fundraising, but strategy is just a really big part of it. And I need to figure out the strategy, a change in strategy, and that requires immense focus. I'm looking at the road because I'm driving, right? And so I'm going to go to this coffee shop. It's one I like. I love the coffee shops on the perimeter of Atlanta. First of all, parking. If you live in any major city, you know that parking is like paramount for everything, like not paid parking. And you get that outside like of Atlanta, like at the edge of Atlanta. Really? So that's where I'm headed. I love Buford Highway and all it has to offer. I think I've taken you guys to Buford Highway before. I take everybody there if they're like, where do you want to eat in Atlanta? Just experience like a breadth of cultures. Buford Highway is the way to go. To experience Black Southern food, you got to be in the south side of Atlanta. But that's neither here nor there. People ask me all the time where to eat, or like if their friends or family coming into town, they ask me all the time. So if you have a specific question, I can give you that based on my experience. I'm still experiencing. But like I said, I'm headed to the coffee shop. Y'all, none of my makeup matches my face because I just got back from a Caribbean vacation. So everything is too light, but I made it work. I didn't put on any of the tinted foundation I have because tinted moisturizer, because that also is the wrong shade. I think I'm just going to let it ride. I might get concealer though, because this is a little bright for what I go for. I usually like a natural look, so I think that's what I'll do. But anyways, headed to the coffee shop. I've been listening to the Keke Tracee Ellis interview since I started getting ready to leave. And there's so much breadth and depth here. But I'm really loving their discussion about who museums are for right now. As a person who works in the arts, if you're new here, I work in classical music, I work in fine arts. And I go to museums all the time. You guys see me go to museums. I engage with art. My bestie is a visual artist. I love art, and right now there's an Amy Sherrill exhibit here that I must visit. I have not visited it. I'll talk more about that if I do. But said all that to say, I love the conversation because I think a lot of people go to museums and aren't sure how to engage with the art because there is this stuffy idea, and there are museums that do a really good job, right, of creating an exhibit, curating an exhibit where the viewer, which we would call the audience or the stakeholder, feels like they can engage with it and like they belong in the space. It's a really big part of the work we do in the arts, trying to make it so people feel like they belong, everybody, in a space. Now, there are definite entities that are invested in not making everyone feel like they belong, like it's for particular people. And that's a whole other conversation. But this conversation about storytelling resonates with me because as a musician, I'm also a classical musician, by the way. I used to be a classical flutist. And now I work behind the scenes. We were always telling a story with music. That was always a part of things, right? And so I've always translated that to dance, which I absolutely love, and visual art, theater, etc. Like, what story am I meant to feel? What am I meant to get from this engagement with art? And so I love this conversation. There's another part of this that I think I want to wait to talk about until I watch the Oprah interview, because it's about the timing of life. And that's something that I have had to contend with as I push toward 40. Now that I am 40, I have like very definitive thoughts and ideas about the timing of life. But I'm going to get to this coffee shop. It is now raining again. I'm over the rain. But I wanted to sit by the pool this weekend, but I don't know if that's even going to be possible. I wanted to grill. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I'm going to get to this coffee shop, do some work, and go. I'll talk more about the interview because I'm going to finish it. I forgot to bring a book, so that really sucks because I did want to read here. I like bringing a book to a coffee shop. I don't know if I can acquire one. I don't know any bookstores around where I'm going. And I'm not supposed to be buying books either. Look. We all have our thing. Anyways, let me get to this coffee shop. I'm in Doraville now. Thank you. Dark it is. Is it 4 o'clock? Yes. Am I just getting to lunch? Yes. Is the sky falling? Yes. All of that is happening. But I'm back home. I did stop by Publix on the way home to pick up some dinner food, which since it's 4 o'clock, I don't know whether I'm going to eat dinner before or after I go to tennis this evening. I don't know. It's going to depend on whether I'm hungry or not. It's Thursday, Friday at tennis, so I don't want an empty stomach, but we'll see. I really go by vibes. I know what meals I'm going to eat, but I eat them by vibes, not by timing. I have this salad I made. I'm eating the rest of it. It's just cucumber, onion, tomato, Roma tomatoes, and I just have some salt and pepper on them, a little bit of oil, to go with my shawarma chicken and quinoa. And I also made a lentil soup. All of that is lunch. But I'm out of lentil soup. I finished it because my man came over one day and I gave him some. Why did I do that? Anyway, Tracee Ellis Ross, Keke Palmer interview. I finished it while in the coffee shop, which favorite matcha. That matcha was so good. It was a strawberry matcha. But the matcha itself, the quality of the matcha, top tier, A1. Like I said, that's why I like going on Buford Highway here, because if you're looking for any kind of Asian food, any kind of Mexican specific food, you're going to find good options all over that street. I mean, Southeast Asia, a lot of it, the different cultures are there. But anyways, the interview continued and I really, really enjoyed their talk. It was hilarious about men and like beauty standards and where does it all come from. And it resonated with me because when I started this video, I was like, dang, I really need a retwist. But I actually get the most compliments on my hair when it looks like this. And when people say, oh, I love your hair, I will automatically say, I need a retwist. And that comes from the old school, right? Because I don't know if you've been around a long time. I'm 40, so I've been around for a moment, but it used to be that locks were often considered dirty. And so unless you had like a fresh retwist and your locks looked very well put together and stuff, then there was this perception of dirtiness, right? And I, of course, don't buy into that as someone who's been a natural for so long. Even I had loose natural hair back when it was quite unpopular. So I've let go of that. And like when it's like this, I often consider just being a freeform lock person and not getting the retwists as frequently. But I'm also very aware of my position in the world and the rooms I sit in. And that's really not a possibility, like at all. I need to have the updo game on point for when I'm having to go to galas. I need to look a particular way when I'm meeting big ticket people, when I'm in fundraising as an executive, when I'm out there. But I do love this look about my locks. I love when they swell and they have a lot of frizz. And that actually, I was in the store with my last hairstyle and this woman came up to me and she was like, I love your hair. And I was like, thank you. And she was like, how'd you start? I told her. And she was like, you have to have the frizz and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's such a shady, backhanded way to ask about that, but whatever. And I was like, no, I like the frizz because 9 times out of 10 I do. But just a few times I don't. And that conversation just really reminded me to check myself and to think about why I want things the way I want them. Like the gray hair, I never ever question because I love my gray hair, right? Like, and people compliment me on that all the time. I mean, all the time. I don't even know what it looks like anymore back there because up here it looks very different than back there. I just don't care. I don't want to dye the grays. I love my gray hair. But there's something about that retwist that is calling me when I don't even want to do it until at least the first of the month. Financially, I just went on a trip. I want to just sit with my money until the first of the month when I reimburse my maintenance fund. And then I'll get a retwist. Financially, that makes the most sense. Could I fund it myself? Could I borrow from myself? Absolutely. But there's not a good reason to do that. It's just me in my head about what looks good. And I don't have any events to attend or any meetings and before the first that I need to worry about a tight retwist, like a really, really kempt look, right? So they were joking. They were hilarious. That interview was hilarious. It wasn't over the top. I really enjoyed it. I actually don't watch Keke's podcast. I think I've only seen one other episode. I'm definitely going to watch the Oprah episode though. So if you've seen the Tracee Ellis Ross episode with her, let me know. I'd love to chat more about anything you want to talk about in the comments below. But it was a really, really good interview. I will come back when I watch the Oprah interview. Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that, lightning? I don't know if you heard it with this mic, but there's a lot going on out there. And I want to turn off the light because also I grew up where every light was turned off. Everything was unplugged. Growing up in Florida when we had major storms, because you just never know where that would end up. Because we like that. Look, surge protectors work. I shouldn't have to worry about it. It's just that old school training and mentality in my head. And some of it I've let go, and clearly the rest of it is still there. Anyways, I'm going to eat this, do more work, because it's only 4. And either I'll cook and then head to tennis, or I'll head to tennis and then cook. We'll see. We'll see. This is so good. I can do practicing first. It's actually not bad. I need more instruction.
I'm going to practice. I saw like people running in the morning. I went over there in the morning.
Yeah, trail.
From the battery, I don't hang out over here.
The battery has so much.
There's so much over there.
And everybody's over there. Like,
Yeah, I never go